Welcome to today's journey into the Ars Electronica Festival. My name is Crystal Bauer, I'm the head of the festival, and I'm here today with my dear colleague and co-pilot, Dinah, who is also working as a project coordinator for the festival. For the first time ever, the festival is proving itself as a travel agency, despite the current pandemic. And today we are going to take you on a journey to very inspiring places on our globe. A journey to measure the new world, into the Kepler's gardens that are located along the topics of art, science and technology. We are visiting the capital of Lithuania, Vilnius, Los Angeles, as well as Argentina. And my dear colleague Dinah will introduce you now to our first stop on the way.
Thank you, Crystal. The pleasure is mine to virtually undertake the journey today by going to the region of my origin, the Baltic states, and specifically country Lithuania. Let me introduce to the first garden today, Ars Electronica Garden Vilnius. The Vilnius Garden will unfold its diverse program at the new SODAS 21-23 cultural complex, and in Lithuanian language, SODAS means garden. The Vilnius Garden takes the visual and conceptual metaphor of the grow, which is a small cultivated wood, and builds its program around it. The events will be open for visitors both physically on the site in Vilnius city and also for all of us online. I would like now invite you to watch the video message from Vilnius, in which Vytautas Michelkevičius, curator of the Vilnius Garden, together with the artists and co-curators Gaila Gričiūtė and Ignas Pavlikevičius, will show us around the physical location of the Vilnius Garden. They will tell us more about the program and also reveal how the artist communities in Lithuania feel and work now in the new world, which has been highly influenced by COVID-19. Sveiki, welcome.
Hello from Vilnius, geographical center of Europe, which starts in Portugal and ends in the Russian Ural Mountains. We are here in Vilnius, the capital of Lithuania, and it's neither Riga nor Tallinn. It's located in the most south part of Baltic states, next to Poland and Belarus, and of course the Baltic Sea. And we are here in a cultural hub, SODAS 2123, SODAS 2123. And I am Vytautas Michelkevičius, commissioner and curator-in-chief of Ars Electronica Garden Vilnius. And here we, together with a group of curators and artists, set up the program for you. This is a very interesting grove, a small forest, and the concept of our garden takes visual and conceptual metaphor of a grove. And if you see here, come closer, we are at the very beautiful oak tree. You can touch it, come closer, feel the skin and texture of it, and see the huge amount of fresh oak leaves. So these trees have spent decades and hundreds of years growing here, and we are very lucky to have this grove. And now we are going to traverse through the grove and the building itself, and we will see how many artist studios are based here. And this is more than different 40 venues, and artists and cultural organizers are located here since the beginning of this year. So now we are coming closer to Gallery Atletica. You can see some artworks already here outside. At this moment, gallery is empty. And if you look down to the ground, to the floor, you see some markers, and it's obviously was the sports hall. And this is a hint that it was a school, a former school, and now it's a venue of 4,500 square meters. Yeah, so we are approaching the studio of sound artist and composer, Gailė Griciūtė, and she's gonna present a performance, The World is Here for You, and Storia Demirel. Let's have a look. Hello.
Hello. I am Gailė, a member of performance ensemble iGymnastics. And we're going to perform live in SODAS 2123 on the 12th of September at 8 p.m. And our performance is going to be a spoken song session which will contain spells and incantations, and hopefully you can join us.
Now we are approaching another studio, Alt Lab. It is run by Instituto Media, the oldest media art organization in Lithuania, and curated by Mindaugas Gapševičius, artist and organizer. You can see here wonderful glass containers where he's preparing to grow some creatures inside them. And during our festival, he will make a talk, Experiencing Lives, and it will be artist talk between Mindaugas Gapševičius, Brigita Kasperaitė, Rūta Spelskytė, and scientist Auksė Gaižauskaitė, moderated by Valentinas Klimašauskas. So welcome on September 9th, 16:20 CET time here, and experience our colleagues talking about the experiencing lives. And now we are moving towards the roof. Welcome to the roof, top terrace. And here you can see beautiful panorama of Vilnius city and Old Town. On the background, there's our small grove. So let's start everything from beginning. A lot of people is asking what is to be done. Что делать? How is it saying the famous Russian artist group? We have to act and not to be passive our days. Last 2 months in summer we have enjoyed a lot of cultural activities and events in Vilnius, and we are happy that we learned how to live after quarantine, and now I hope we never have a complete lockdown anymore. And the Lithuanian government already decided how foreign artists can move safely and arrive in Lithuania and participate in events. So our proposal and our experiment is the upcoming garden in Vilnius, which is made of hybrid reality, and a lot of events are happening here lively and also broadcasted and streamed online. And a group of students from Vilnius Academy of Arts, Photography and Media Art Department is helping us to scan the whole grove around the building and the building inside, and show the structure we have. And I think quarantine learned us how to look around and how to find a lot of details and local resources. And one of our highlights in the program is artist Ignas Pavliukevičius, who is now filming me, and he's gonna present his performance during the festival. Hello, Ignas.
Hello everyone. As you see here on this roof, I will present my installation, which is called Standing Waves, where a person coming here to be in solitude with the installation, so-called antenna that can scan electromagnetic field of a human brain, human body, human cells, human growth. That electromagnetic waves are translated into sound, where a person can be with himself and experience his own electromagnetic waves and his body in a different way.
I am Vytautas Michelkevičius, curator, researcher and writer, working with art, media and technology since early 2000s, and I'm really happy to welcome you here on board on Ars Electronica Garden Vilnius at Cultural Hub SODAS 2123.
Wow, what beautiful buildings and premises you have there. Now we make a huge leap across the Atlantic Ocean, across the whole North American continent, to the city of stars, to Los Angeles. There, dear Victoria Wessner and her team have prepared an incredible garden, and they will guide us now through this beautiful city, but not just from the Botanical Garden to the Art Science Center at the UCLA University, where actually Victoria is a head and founder of, but they will also guide us into the virtual venues of their garden, such as Mozilla Hubs. Victoria and her team have developed over the summer, amidst the pandemic, a huge workshop program that focuses around ecologies, but mainly centers around the topic of their garden, telluric vibrations. So now, dear Victoria, I'd like to give you the stage to tell us a little bit more about your programs.
So hot. Welcome to our garden in Los Angeles. Here at UCLA, we wish we could be with you, actually, with our Ars Electronica community friends and the gatherings that were so important to all of us for decades. But here we are. This is the times we're in, and in California right now, we're in a state of emergency. There's about 300 fires burning. The coronavirus is off the charts. Climate change is upon us. There's no question anymore. And we came together, the Ars Collective, and put together a wonderful show. We already worked so hard just last month on our summer program, so we already had so many workshops, so many artworks, so many dialogues that we wanted to further extend. And so we took this opportunity as a way to connect, and I think it's actually amazing how many different countries, people all over the world are coming together for this. So thank you for including us. Welcome to our garden, and let's show you around a little bit what to expect. This summer we were introduced to a new word by the geologist in our group, telluric, and it was perfect for what we imagined for our garden for Ars Electronica. We start and we keep returning to the UCLA Mildred Mathias Botanical Gardens in the middle of the city with plants and trees transplanted from all over the world, just like LA, one of the most diverse cities with more than half of the population considered foreign. Many of our collective members had to leave LA due to the pandemic, so there's really no local here. Victoria Sorg, Dean of Sciences and Directors of the Gardens, who is showing us around here, will talk about her research on oak tree genetics and climate change. And right across from the Botanical Gardens, we will take you to our second home on campus at the California Nanosystems Institute. Here, scientists from all different disciplines, engineers, chemists, physicists, neurologists, biologists, all use nanotech in their research. We will take you deep underground with floors 3 meters deep to avoid vibration and learn about cutting-edge microscopy currently used for research into the virus, among other things. Dr. James Rimjewski and his group will show us around the Pico Lab and talk about their latest research into atomic precision 3D printing. Last month, we worked really hard on making our annual Summer Institute fun, and we will be sharing with you all the cool workshops we developed. Again, we move from the terrestrial to the technological. We move from the deep earth to deep space and back. We look below our feet to the mycelial networks We search around for weeds on sidewalk, do 3D animation, look at the urban landscape, cook together, field record electromagnetic radiation in space, and do some remote sensing on Mars. All different ways of thinking hands-on. For our panels, we delve deeper into issues such as, could we decolonize AI? We ask, why are we exploring Mars now that so many are suffering on this planet? And how are we changing this distant communication being our social exchange? Can we eat together online? We will visit studios. JKU Campus at the Broad Arts Center will show us his work and his amazing collection and devices. We will visit Bill Fontana at the San Francisco Bridge, the source of his daily quarantine recordings, and he will share his new work with us. We jump over to New York and visit Tony Dove in her studio. And then we take a ferry with our partner Harvestworks New York to see the work of artists in residence there at Governor's Island. From there, we go across the globe to Europe and get to walk through the Alien Stardust installation, a new work that opened at the Natural History Museum on March 10th, and then the very next day, the entire city closed. Even though the exhibition was extended, I wish I could travel there, so I asked the geologist and meteorite curator Ludovic Ferrier to take us through the meteorite collection and peek into the installation. I want to share it with my colleagues and my team. Last month, the Alien Stardust morphed into a network meditation, and we invite you to join us on a tour of meteorites crashing on every continent and falling apart, stardust mixing with pollution. We stay still together, and we stay centered and ask how we can manage when everything is falling apart. We are all in this together, and thank you for Ars Electronica including us in this epic festival. 2020 will remain as a point in time we will all remember. We were asked to come up with a statement on our thoughts, our imaginings about the future after the pandemic. And after some discussion and scratching our heads, we realized that all we can do right now is be in the present. That actually this is the most important thing to do, is to be in the present and raise awareness about what's going on. So when all these events that are so unpredictable happen to us as individuals or collectively, we respond appropriately. So a lot of the work that we're doing is really about that. It's really about how to be in the moment, how to be present, and how to anticipate the future but not think about it too much or wonder about it, but just allow it to be something that will be, and stay in the present moment.
I am already impressed by the journeys which will be made from the Los Angeles Garden. But let's move from Linz to the next and last stop today in the southern half of South America, Argentina, Buenos Aires. First, we will be greeted by Mariano Sardon, the head of the Art and Science Center of the Museum of the National University of Tres de Febrero. We are delighted to see how the enthusiasm expressed from the very beginning of our conversations to take part in this year's worldwide network Ars Electronica Festival has resulted in the Garden of Curiosity in Buenos Aires. How could we build an ecosystem for culture growing? The university's Art and Science Center can be thought of as a cultural garden. In the Garden of Curiosity, the Art and Science Center offers to discover various art and science projects with the aim to share their diversity with us, their visitors. The Art and Science Center, in which the Buenos Aires Garden has grown, rich of visual and sound objects, will be presented by 3 electronic art students and researchers, Gala González, Jerónimo Buyman, and Manuel Biderman. Bienvenidos.
Our proposal is called the Garden of Curiosity. It is an interactive platform composed of a garden of many significant objects for each research project in our lab. By navigating through the objects, you will link to researchers, projects, contents, and people. It's like to go for a walk in a garden and discovering texts, images, videos, and material belonging to different research projects housed at the Montref Centro de Arte y Ciencia.
Montref Centro de Arte y Ciencia can be regarded as a diverse ecosystem. Since 2011, it has waved connections between professionals, artists and students research groups from various technical backgrounds with multiple institutions, fostering empathetic and inspiring relationships in a broader network of collaboration. We have created the Garden of Curiosity as an interactive work of navigable visualization through which we seek to share this cultural diversity. A garden has a systemic relationship between its component parts: the soil, the seeds, the animals and the flora, bugs. All are in a relationship of feedback, contagious, self-organizing learning. We like to think like this at Montref Centro de Arte y Ciencia. For our community of artists and scientists, the existence of a research space like this is crucial to give visionary ideas a place to thrive. Subsequently, we support developments that go in the direction of new perspective over common problems, renewing curiosity in the community about them. This also might represent great fields of study, innovation and structures for the future of the world and with a local perspective. Local, federal and regional conditions are very important for all that we do. That's our own social ecosystem. In this open relationship with our environment, we are dedicated to incorporate actors from the most diverse disciplines and fields who are experts in what we are doing. With this approach, we promote transdiscipline as a method of joint work. Each of the teams that make up the Garden of Curiosities have links with specialists of the issues and fields of their research territories. We also want to mention that the institutions that accompany our projects add enormous value to what we do and to society in general. We are happy with all the ties and symbiosis that we have been created over the years, with whom we have come together to think of new ways of doing what we're doing and new ways of expressing what the world is wondering about. What we do during the pandemic, instead of becoming idle, has managed to flourish in different directions, incorporating new questions, expanding toward new projects, alliances, and better ways of being connected.
Science and art have been involved with each other over the centuries, and unlike other times where both were embodied in the genius of a single person, today we say that it is about creative practices developed between heterogeneous groups that share what they don't know. For example, at the Foro de Espacio y Arte made in 2019 at the Centro Cultural de la Ciencia in Buenos Aires, and with the support of the British Council, we had professionals from different disciplines and countries who showed how and where they work, what motivates them, and what they are looking for. Photographers, astrobiologists, astronomers, engineers, astronauts, anthropologists spoke, all relating their scientific work to the art world. But in addition to the professionals level in their respective fields, we are interested in creating bonds between novel students who begin their path in the world of art and science. This year, the Muntref had launched a mentoring program for new students project in which senior students and professors mentors them with the goal of creating solid research projects. During the pandemic, we have held public meetings with students from different careers and universities in the country with questions about how our bodies are mediated by the screens, by the human machines, among others. These initiatives and others are produced by the people who are part of Muntref Arte y Ciencia. Our way of working, both artistically and scientifically, is through research and experimentation, trying to find that question that unites one discipline with another, imagining the present in every corner of our garden.
A garden can be considered as a particular arrangement of ecosystems that can grow in many expected or unexpected ways. We see gardens as spaces for personal habitat, planning, and care. After planting the seeds and proposing a design for the land, biodiversity shows itself and reveals the meaning of nature cycles for its development. We cannot predict in advance the series of directions and forms that will take place in the development of each being in that garden. We end up with multiple results that were not previously determined, despite the proposed order. The word culture refers to the cultivation of the land in many languages. Our knowledge and social practices could grow in a kind of territory designed with more or less established limits. However, growing cultures are always spontaneously mixing processes. The same is the case with research. After an initial question, one does not know how an idea can become matter, as it goes through a process of constant transformation motivated by permanent curiosity. How to build an ecosystem for the cultivation of questions and ideas. At Muntref, Centro de Arte y Ciencia, we are committed to generating this substrate for the flourishing of a diverse ecosystem, a cultural garden that spreads through vast and multiple flower beds. By browsing the garden of curiosity, this environment full of objects leads to different sounds, sketches, and words that can be accessed by clicking one by one, also finding audiovisual content. The current crisis situation forces us to strengthen our ties as a community and as a containment platform. But we also take it as an opportunity to ask ourselves new questions and to work with that challenge. Allowing us to pose new developments that respond to the problems of our situation is a way to continue expanding this garden in tension with the precipitations of the paradigms that we are already leaving behind.
Wow, dear Mariano, what a fantastic journey. And although I know that the situation in Argentina is not that easy at the moment, what you put together with your team is incredible, and we can wait to experience it live in September. Thank you to all partners for the inspiring moments today, for the insights into your gardens, and to bypass the days, 2 weeks until the festival. We're going to take you on another journey next week into the international gardens. But tomorrow we're going to show you a little bit more about what we're planning in Linz, about the festival that is taking on-site place in the Kepler Garden Linz. So please join us tomorrow and stay tuned for the next editions of our travel studio. Thank you and bye-bye.
Goodbye.